Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Scoop Duck on YouTube. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be coming out with content a little bit more regularly. Today, I'm joined by 2021 four-star Oregon linebacker commit Keith Brown. Keith, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm good. I just been just chilling at the house, fishing, trying to hang with my friends, get my workouts in as I can.
Right on. There you go. What's your current height and weight looking like these days?
I've grown a little bit, so right now I'm around 6'2", 230.
6'2", 230. All right, perfect. Perfect size for a linebacker. Seems like.
Yep.
Um, I hope I don't butcher the pronunciation, but you're from Lebanon, Oregon, correct?
Yeah, we call it
Or
Lebanon, but it's like
Lebanon?
the actual like way it's pronounced is Lebanon.
Okay, okay. Well, for someone who isn't from Lebanon, what is it like? I know it's probably not one of the cities most people know about when they think of Oregon.
Yeah, it's not like a huge city or nothing. It's like a smaller town, but we just have a lot of fun here. Rather we don't have a lot of like city stuff to go like have fun in, so we have fun by like going fishing, going cliff jumping, taking the boats out on the lake, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So kind of like a more outdoorsy kind
Yeah,
of place.
for sure.
Right on. I mean, that seems like a good place to be when stuff starts to reopen, or the little things that we can do, just getting outside. That's awesome.
Best.
All right. Right on. So just wanted to catch up with you a little bit on that, and then let's talk some football, man. I know you've been committed to Oregon for a while now. Just tell us a little bit what it was like, to go through that process and be recruited by, Oregon.
Well, the process of being recruited in general was very stressful, and it kind of got annoying in a certain sense because you always have to feel like you have to answer all these certain coaches and all this stuff. But I was never one to like offer chase, so I knew once I found a place for me, and I knew Oregon was recruiting me the hardest for sure because they don't just recruit like me myself. They recruit my family, my mom, my brother, my friends. Like they try and get everyone on board, so that way it's an easy decision for me to make. So being recruited by Oregon was like probably one of the best experiences I had being recruited by any school.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I've heard it can definitely be stressful. I mean, I'm sure your phone's blowing up all the time.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was like September, I think was it September 1st when like 2021 could be contacted or something like that.
Mhm.
And like literally at midnight that night, my phone just blew up by like every school, just graphics. Hey man, what's up? How you doing? I was just like, oh, this is crazy.
Dang, yeah, that kind of leads into one of my other questions. You committed relatively early in your cycle. I feel like kind of in the fall time. Why did you decide to commit when you did in November of last year? I think it was.
Yeah. So I knew I wasn't gonna go far from home. I knew it wasn't like a East Coast, South, or like up North kid. I knew I was either like I knew I was gonna stay on the West Coast. And so I kind of narrowed my decision was narrowed down pretty much immediately when my recruitment started. So I visited every single West Coast school that offered me. And then after that I was just like, okay, I know where I want to go. So I just decided to stay home and go to Oregon.
Right on. So yeah, you were saying that you got to take a lot of visits, so it's not like you made a quick decision. You still drew it out, and it was something you were confident in. Being that you were looking at other schools, was there like a number two team? Like what's it like, having to turn those other schools down?
It's hard because you build relationships with people and like you trust them and stuff. But like I'd say like I kind of have like a top five in my head, or like a top three, top four. If I didn't go to Oregon, I was probably either going to go to UW or USC, maybe even Berkeley. I really like Berkeley. So like it was really hard turning those schools down, and especially Oregon State because they're my first offer, and I talked to them a lot, visited there a lot. So it was really hard for me to tell them that I'm not going to be going to their school.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, people say all the time it is about relationships when it comes to recruiting. You mentioned Oregon State, being there from the jump. Kind of what's it like maybe when you have a team like Oregon State and then maybe some new school, they start blowing up your phone right when the contact period starts? Like, how do you kind of manage those relationships? Like, hey, these guys were here and they're my home state versus, this is like a big name school coming up.
It's you can kind of get a feel just talking to somebody if they're genuine or not pretty quick. And like I got like from a lot of the bigger schools that are talking to me, like let's say like I don't want to name any names, but like let's
Yeah,
just
that's
say
cool.
any of the bigger schools that were talking to me, like I just they get like all the big recruits and stuff, so they don't it's not the same amount of care that goes in like as genuineness. Like they don't really care as much as you come or not. If they get you, cool. If they don't get you, it's like whatever. But and then you kind of get that feel like they're just like kind of just throwing offers out and stuff.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, because that's I mean that now that you mention that, that is like one of the I talk to a ton of recruits like when they talk to about Oregon, like that's always the point that they're hitting on. Like the coaches are genuine. It's
They're
a
genuine.
family feel. Like what does that mean for you? You know that genuineness, if that's a word.
That's the most important part for me, just because if I'm gonna go and put my body on the line for 4 years for these people, I might as well trust them. I might as well trust that what they're saying is going to be real. And that was the most important thing for me.
For sure, that's awesome. I'm glad that you feel that way about the staff. On the topic of the staff, how often have you been hearing from the coaches? Are you staying in touch with them?
Yeah, we talk every single day. We have group chats with all the different coaches with my mom in them. They're always texting. I talk to Coach Wilson like 2 or 3 times a day. Talk to Cristobal 3 or 4 times a week. Like it's every day.
Wow,
They
that's awesome.
they recruit me just as hard now, even though that I'm committed, as they did even before I committed.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sure that that's got to feel good. It's like, hey, even though I'm in the fold, it's not like they're gonna forget about me or anything.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and they always are sending me lists of people they want me to like help get to come to Oregon. So it's a really fun like little process we have going on.
Yeah, that's super cool. I know, like one time when people commit, it's like, hey, like you're kind of turning into a recruiter now. You go from being recruited to recruiting other people. What's
Yeah.
that kind of been like for you? Do you feel any kind of pressure? Is it more fun than anything else? Like, what's it
It
like?
it's more fun being the recruiter than being the one recruited, I'd say. And being recruited by other players or other players or commits is way better than being recruited by a coach. Just because the players and the recruits will keep it 100. Like they're not going to say some like fake stuff. So it's like it's just better that way. I feel, and it's more fun for me.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, I know since you are one of the first guys that went ahead and committed, do you have anyone that you're like trying to get to come to Oregon, or anyone that you're talking to? I know you're really close to Noah Sewell, and he was probably you guys made your commitment kind of around the same time.
Yeah, well with Noah, I knew he was gonna commit a long time before he did, before like the public knew. And I knew I was gonna commit a long time before the public knew too. So we kinda just did it around the same time. Not necessarily planned, but I felt when I felt it was right for me, I committed, and then when he felt it was right for him, he committed. But guys, I'm trying to get Brand was one, he committed. Jonah Miller, we're still on him. Troy Franklin, um, JT. I don't know. I can't pronounce his last name. It's like super
Yeah,
long.
he's from Washington. I know he's like the top
Yeah,
player in the state.
yeah. But yeah, I feel those guys for sure.
Awesome. Well,
But then
best of luck with
I'm not super pushy. Like if a guy doesn't necessarily like love Oregon, like I'm gonna be like, all right, like I'll be like, okay, I respect your decision, bro. Like it's not everyone has to come to Oregon. You feel?
Oh yeah, not being pushy. I'm sure that that's just kind of like a mutual respect thing that recruits probably have between each other.
Absolutely.
Um, just on the topic of recruitment, everyone's kind of having to stay home right now. Um, are there any schools that are still recruiting you? Like, what do you tell them? What's that kind of been like for you?
Well, after I first committed, a lot of the schools were still trying to talk to me, and I kind of just had to be 100 with them. I was like, I'm 100% on Oregon, and then ever since then, like I feel like when you're a recruit and you tell a bunch of schools that my recruitment shut down, the word kind of spreads, and then ever since then, I haven't heard from my schools.
Okay, awesome. I'm sure that'll be music to Duck fans' ears. Um, and then just kind of building off of that, are you hoping to take any kind of visits once things reopen? Any officials? Any kind of planning going on?
Yeah. Well, my official to Oregon was supposed to be versus Ohio State, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. So, and then I don't have any other official set up at any other schools. So I'm just taking that one official to Oregon, and then roll into my senior season and I get to Oregon January 2nd. So I'll be there pretty soon.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you got your sights are clearly set in Oregon. Sounds like you're going to be graduating early.
Yep.
On the topic of visits, a lot of recruits obviously can't visit right now. In your eyes, what are they missing? Like, what would your recruiting message be to them if someone can't visit, but Oregon's in the picture?
I would just try and like play it out as long as you can, because once the Oregon opens and you can take a visit during a game day, it'll change your life. Like when you take a visit to Oregon as a recruit, all the fans know your name, all the student section knows your name. There's sometimes I've been there, and like the whole student section started chanting Keith Brown come to Oregon, and that happens with all the recruits. Like doesn't like it's Oregon on game day is like a place like no other.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna actually be in Eugene in a couple months here, going to school there. So I can't wait for it to open, man. I'm anxious to get out to the games.
It'd be super super fun. I go to every home game.
Very cool. Yeah, you're not even too far away. I think you told me one of these interviews, isn't it like 45 minutes or so away from Eugene?
45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes without traffic.
Oh, not bad at all.
Not far at all.
Okay, very cool. Um, Moving along here. Don't want to keep it too long, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about this 2021 class so far? I know it's still kind of early on, but we're seeing them pop off a little bit, and I know Oregon can't take too many people in this class compared to years past.
Yeah. This class is special. We have 7 who's been committed since he was born. Then we have Jackson Light, who's the most energetic guy who's committed right now. Then we got me, Bram, Trell, and Ty Thompson, and we're all in a group chat right now. We all talk every single day, basically, and it's just super fun. We're always talking, always chatting, seeing how we're doing. And I think this class is gonna be special because we already have a pretty good relationship going in.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely unique. It's cool with the way technology is at today. You guys can bond before you even meet each other, and then even after that when you guys are apart. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Um, on the class of 2021, I've seen, and we've all seen the edits on Twitter like that Oregon sends out that are like super clean, and then I've been like seeing I think the hashtag they're going with for you guys is Take Flight 21. Like,
Yeah. No, I actually
is,
chose that.
oh, you chose that?
Yeah, like the Kenny Sanders before he left. He's trying to come up with a hashtag for the 21 class, and he sent me like a bunch of options, and I chose Take Flight 21.
That's so sick. That's so cool. I didn't know the story behind that. I was just gonna ask you about um kind of oops, sorry, my mom's calling me. I'm sorry, I was just gonna ask you about, that's so cool. You've been able to kind of like be a representation of the brand that is the rising senior class now.
Yep.
Very
It's
cool.
super.
Okay, what else? We've kind of seen Oregon in the past labeled as soft. Do you think that their play is kind of working to change that mindset, especially with the way their defense showed up last year?
Oh yeah, like the way that the way they are now compared to and I don't really know the past because I didn't grow up like the biggest like college football fan and watch a lot of football. But the way that I've seen them play last year and the way they're going to play this next year, they're recruiting SEC style guys now. It's not just recruiting like the super fast, like skinny guys. Like they want some size and some speed. So I mean, it's going to be really physical from now on for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned the kind of guys that they're recruiting. With the guys that they're bringing in, like yourself, like there's a lot of talent, and there's already going to be like a lot of talent there once you get there. Like you're going to be going up against guys like Noah Sewell and Justin Flo. Like, what's that like? Being an elite player and like I'm already coming in where there's like great players.
That's the most important part for me. I didn't want to. I think if you're around guys, it's like I'd rather be like in a pack of lions than a pack of sheep. Like you wanna roll with guys that are gonna make you better. So it's always a great time to be able to learn and also compete with guys that are really good too.
Right on. Sweet. That's super cool. I like your mindset. Just 2 more for you here, and I'll get you out of here. What would you say is your favorite thing about playing football?
My favorite thing about playing football is, I would say, being able to hang out being able to like have that like brotherhood with your teammates is like it's super special. And then I definitely love the just going out there and being able to like physically throw another dude around and not get in trouble for it. Like there's like you can physically go out there and just slap somebody around, and no one's gonna be mad about it. They're gonna praise you for it.
That's awesome. It's so funny that you said that. I actually interviewed Jackson Light yesterday. He said the same thing for his favorite part about football. So it's cool you guys are on the same page.
Yeah, Jackson's lit.
That's awesome. All right, last one for you here, Keith. What are your expectations for the Ducks this upcoming season, whether it be defense, offense, whole team?
I say the college football playoffs for sure. I think we're gonna take out the whole entire Pac-12, Pac-12 champs, and then play in the college football playoff.
Well, awesome. I hope that happens too. Being a Duck fan, there's nothing I want to see more. Literally nothing I want to see more than that.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Love the mindset. Well, Keith, thank you so much for joining us today, man. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Hope you're staying safe, staying well, family's doing well, and I'm sure we'll be in touch in the future, man.
for sure. Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us, man.
Yep. See ya.